Future Hacker. Life. Path. Future.
Welcome back, everybody, to the international edition of Future Hacker with Yogita Ajgaonkar, the CEO and founder of Tiwiw. This is your host, Maria Taide. On the first episode, we talked about the challenges of the retail industry and the use of new technologies in this sector. So continue with that topic, which is naturally our favorite one. So Yogita, do you see the use of IoT on people's life and on daily purchases decisions in the near future? Just as, let's say, e-commerce turned out to be such a common thing nowadays.
Yes, like any other new technologies, Maria, it will take some time for people to accept and use this new technology in their daily lives. The most importantly, the security part of IoT needs to be addressed, because that will give user the comfort feeling to use it more and more often. From the retailer's perspective, indeed, it is clear that IoT is already having impact on retailer industry, from improving the in-store experience for customers to improving profits. It will, in the future, as we see more innovation on IoT side and the growth in acceptance, it will give retailers better insights on who their customers are and how they use the product, how their products are performing, etc., etc. Actually, this will help the retailers in product improvement and optimizing the shelf space in the retail outlets. And what I say is, by adopting IoT in the long term, retailers transform from becoming the current status to they will become experience-based retailers. So when you walk into the store, it will be more like an entertainment space, rather than just a very dry retail store.
I like that you brought up the topic of having the companies getting insights from the consumers about the product and the actual usage. Because this comes to another issue, right, that we currently have. Because now we have this mix between the first-party data, which is the browsing behavior, purchase history, and everything around it, with the artificial intelligence. If we put together, data science, everything is extremely enriching for retailers, as they can actually use it to aim their communication to exactly what the customer is looking for. They can increase their orders, the frequency, as well as you mentioned, improve their own products. But on the same time, we have this whole discussion going on with the usage of data and the privacy, the new market regulations. So how is this happening in India? We know, Europe, we have the GDPR, and the US, here in Brazil, actually, we have this new law as well for the data privacy that companies need to adapt. So how is this going in India? Or what do you think are the challenges for the retail sector? And which do you see as the consequences of that?
Absolutely. Data is a fuel, and every one of them, they are looking for collecting more and more data. And this is a global trend. In India, we do not have any specific data protection law as of now. India has not yet enacted specific legislation on the data protection. India is not party to any convention so far on protection of personal data, which is equivalent to GDPR. But we have recently amended what is called as IT Act, Information Technology Act, which gives a right to compensation for improper disclosure of personal information. And entities which are under regulated sectors such as financial services, healthcare, and telecom sector are subject to obligations of confidentiality under sectoral laws, which require them to keep customer personal information confidential. and use them only in a manner which is agreed with the customer. But there is a new bill under discussion and it is being analyzed called PDP, which is a Personal Data Protection Bill. In the coming near future, I think we will have a stronger data protection bill in place.
That's definitely something that has to be discussed by everybody, by the society, right? Because on the same time that, the usage of data by companies, it is an ally to everybody because it's making people's lives easier, and companies are able to better develop their products. And honestly, it's supposed to be something helpful, but on the same time, you have to have the regulations, or else this usage, the data usage may be used for something bad. There's a fine line between being useful and being invasive, and it has to be protected as well, right? So it has to be discussed. I don't think we have the solution yet, but it's important that every country put that into their planning as a society, really, right? Moving on. So, Yogita, we already covered topics like sustainability, the changing consumer behavior, the use of new technologies, the usage of data in the retail industry. So let's talk a little about your company. So how does your company actually address those topics? What are the plans to become even more relevant in an environment with so much competition, so much fragmentation, and so much innovation at the same time?
Maria, thank you for asking me that question. Sustainability and conscious consumptions are not just buzzwords, but have become an absolute must for sustenance of natural resources and, in effect, survival of the human race. It is not that many of us are not aware of the seriousness of the situation, but bringing the necessary behavior change is a challenging proposition. The Nobel Prize winner, economist Richard Thaler, he said that there is always deviation between what we plan to do and what we actually do as humans. Because we are humans, we love inertia and always prefer things to remain as it is till we are pushed to do or nudged by someone. To change the way we think about how we consume things need just a little harmless nudge, It is not advisable that everyone is forced to bring in the change. That is not practical too. The force always brings retaliation. In our context of discussion, the sustainable and conscious consumption, the best way is designing persuasive system to do the regular jobs in such a way that one automatically follows the principle of the desired behavior. The area my company Tiwiw is addressing is the humongous wastage due to the wrong gift. The problem might look small, but the global loss is in billions today. And the environmental loss, if you see the entire life cycle of the product, it is multifold. Tiwiw is inspired by the real life situations, and it is designed to bridge the gap between expectation and gratification. It is built on a rational business model. It is a global platform in the form of an intuitive app to enable people to express their wants and help the giver pick up the right things which a recipient values. Responsible action can significantly reduce the burden on depleting world resources. Today, if you see any holiday report across any countries, what we see is billions of dollars are wasted on unwanted gifts during just the holiday season, and 30% more unrecyclable waste is generated. As per the UN, by 2050, to sustain current lifestyle, an equivalent of almost 3 planets could be required to afford natural resources. The idea behind Tiwiw is to delight the customer by helping him or her to get his or her basic need addressed, and while serving that, nudging them to change the behavior. So the design of the application is done in a way to create a persuasive experience towards forming the habit of conscious consumption. We expect to help save billions of dollars a year and manifold lifetime positive impact on the planet. This is our constructive contribution to the efforts which are already going on by different enterprises and environment. So another very critical aspect of this platform is that it doesn't leave anything for prediction, anything for the prediction algorithm to suggest what one might be expecting, but provides the data with almost 100% accuracy. The significance of this is phenomenal in the long term for forecasting of production and building efficiency and value creation across the retail ecosystem if the data is used wisely. The most fulfillment aspect of the Tiwiw team is in the time of this crisis, when the pandemic happened, we could digitally enable our NGO partners to raise more money, and especially one of the partner, Make-A-Wish India, to reach out to donors to enable them to fulfill wishes of terminally ill children.
So basically, you're building this platform that socially connects people and integrates retail so they can tell their network their wishes and get what they want, reducing waste and bad choices on the consumer side and adding value on the retail side. Is that correct? So also, can you tell us then what are the short terms for your platform? You told me that you're first beginning by using the first party data, so the consumer is actually telling what they want, but on the same time you're getting to use the new technologies to make those predictions available for the retailers as well. And how do you actually see your company in the next 10 years? Now, here is Future Hacker, so we have to talk about the next 10, 20, 30 years if you can.
We would like to be, as Tiwiw, we would like to be the biggest global platform where people connect for a purpose, whether it is for his or her own fulfillment or making someone happy or giving back to community, and in the process make a positive impact on the planet. That is our long-term goal. Of course, we will be making the best use of the new technology and whatever will be available at certain point of time, AI, AR, VR to start with, to provide the best customer experience in getting their wishes fulfilled. The journey has just begun, and this is a journey of change, a change towards responsible living, living with purpose, and we can sail faster and far if more and more people join our voyage. So our immediate short-term goal is to get more and more people use this platform, contributing towards the positive change.
I love that, Yogita. So, unfortunately, we got to the end of our interview. But, I love to have you here, and I'm looking forward to see the evolution of your platform. You're always welcome to come back to tell us the news. And, I would like to end our interview, by opening up for any final comments you'd like to make.
Today, very few people can live without their smartphones or checking their social media, account every day in the morning or before going to bed, right? Technology innovation has completely changed many of our habits, and it will in the future. So it has that kind of a power to change habits of people. Then why not use these capabilities of innovation to create better habits that will enable consumers to lead conscious lifestyle to make a positive impact on society and planet? I would like to leave that question for audience to think and reflect on. And thank you, Maria, for this opportunity. And thank you, Future Hacker team.
Future Hacker. Life. Path. Future.